Hey, good evening, everybody. We got another town hall here, and I have a young man on the line. Adam. Adam, how do you say your last name for the folks at home?
It's Istvan.
Adam Esteban. And Adam, you are an engineer, no? By
Yeah,
trade, by education.
yeah, by education, but I'm a manufacturer. I work with factory folks.
And that means that you're involved in in consulting for factories, or what does that mean? Are you actually on the floor doing assembly, or no?
So I am not one of the wonderful people who are actually on the floor making things. I try to help them uh, make their things better.
Okay, so you're a consultant. In other words, you want to make things more efficient, or you help them change their designs and make their designs better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
And mostly go ahead.
I mostly am helping companies to understand that the experts are the people who are actually doing the thing. So the people who make this stuff are the people who you need to ask how to solve the problem.
So before we go any further, the reason why we have Adam on is he's doing a great thing. He's working to create PPE, personal protection equipment, masks, etc. We're going to talk about it, but I want to tell everybody who he is so we can explain how he's doing it and this project he's involved in. So where'd you go to school?
I went to I graduated from Fairport High School in Monroe County, and I went to the University of Notre Dame for aerospace engineering.
So you're a smart guy.
I am an educated guy. Everybody's smart.
I like that even better. So you went to Notre Dame, and then you wanted to come back to Western New York to contribute to Western New York. I take it.
Yeah, I watched my city die, and I'm a manufacturing guy, and the corporate structure of the Finger Lakes and Western New York took a hit, but the people didn't. They figured it out, and we'll talk about it later. But this project is particularly about figuring out how to do new things as fast as possible, and Rochester, Buffalo, Western New York is uniquely suited and experienced in doing just that.
So you live in the Canandaigua, right?
Yep.
And so this region has always been they've always produced. There's been factories, and we think about the agriculture of this region, but for years there were small manufacturers that did everything from cutlery to fabrics to everything. Once upon a time I heard there was 100 car manufacturers, believe it or not, in the Buffalo Rochester region. You want to talk about that for a second and our history in industrial work?
Yeah, it's not a surprise, right? Like we built the infrastructure. The New York State built the infrastructure to make New York the empire, right? Like to connect the resources out west to the demand and the exporting in the east, and Rochester was uniquely situated to be able to provide that. And we saw great innovation with Xerox and with Kodak and with Bausch and Lomb, and we don't buy film, and we don't make copiers, and we don't make contact lenses anymore. But all that innovation, all that talent, all those people who made those things, they're still here. And when I graduated from college, we moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I worked for General Electric's aviation division. But when we started to have a family, we were like, you know what? Rochester is the best place. And it was 50% motivated by the great people in this region and 50% motivated by, I really just want to go shopping at Wegmans again.
For those of you who have not lived in this area or lived away from this area for a while, you realize what a miraculous thing Wegmans is. And I understand Wegmans has its shortcomings, but every time I was away from home and I would come back and walk into Wegmans, I would think this is a miracle that there's this type of quality and variety, and it really is a special place.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Nate. I was in Cincinnati, and I was at one of the better Kroger stores there, a grocery store in Cincinnati, and the manager was out front like they do, greeting people coming in, and said, "Oh, hey, hi, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, hi, we just moved here from Rochester." And he was like, "Oh, so you shopped at Wegmans?" And he was like, "We're trying. We'll get there."
Yeah, I mean,
eventually."
Ralph's or Kroger or Safeway doesn't cut it after you've gone to
Yeah.
Wegmans.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I like the story, and I appreciate Wegmans. That's for sure. Um, but listen, Wegmans, I heard today that your people aren't wearing masks because you told them not to. So please put on masks. Keep your people safe. You do a good job overall, but they need to be wearing masks. Um, so listen, you have a great idea. You're a smart guy who lives in Canandaigua now, well educated. You wanted to contribute, and you're like, I got an idea. I'm good at this, and so you got a group together to do what?
So there's, I'm kind of the third member to join the team. So there's this exceptional group of makers who are rapid prototypers. They're inventors. They're your Thomas Edison type. They make the 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 solution to the massive problem that we have. And they this group called Helpful Engineering created, they took up this task of, when, so everybody hears about the N95 respirator mask and how short supplied that is, and that's important, but there's a face shield, a plastic shield that goes across that covers that mask, that makes that mask last longer throughout the day, and nobody was tackling that problem. So they tackled it, and the whole global supply chain makes about 50 million of these masks per year for the whole world. And nobody was saying, oh, wait, now every hospital, like Strong, the hospitals in Buffalo, Rochester General, they're all requiring all of the folks to wear full masks all the time. Now we're talking about, we don't need 50 million, we need 500 million, and we need it right now. And nobody was tackling that. So Helpful Engineering figured out a way to create a single plastic sheet die cut mask that can be produced not in the thousands but in the millions. But they didn't have.
So let me slow you down. So you have a
Yep.
group of people that these intelligent makers, you call them,
Yep.
which means people with engineering expertise, whether it's in laser cutting or whatever else. And you're like, you have the mask, right? And the masks are one thing, but now you have that plastic shield, right? Like the spaceman suit type thing, right? But
Yep.
but you said we can make those better, quicker here, right?
Yep. And so a company in upstate New York said, I don't think I can make 10,000 a day. I think I can make 150,000 a day. And
Wow.
and so this group reached out to me, and I apologize if a young man jumps up behind me, but I have a lot of children in the
I get it.
house.
I'm constantly nervous. My young man's going to be charging in, so don't worry.
Everybody, there are a lot of people who are learning this week and this month that children exist.
Yes, right.
But so this company in upstate New York said, I can make I asked them, how many can you make, and they were like, I can make 150,000 a day, and I sent them the design, and they worked all through the weekend. Their engineers went to the tool making shops 20 hours a day, went home to have a short nap and a cup of coffee, but they're tooled up and ready to roll. And we just today secured a supply of the material we need. And this is basically, it's the same material that goes into Coke bottles. So Coca-Cola has been helping us massively, and they are helping us leverage their supply chain to feed upstate New York's manufacturing base to make this amount of material that we need in the millions, not in the tens of thousands.
So you're a group of volunteers that are part of this project, a political project, by the way. You're going to work with all people, and if you're a Republican or a Democrat, reach out to Adam.
When I was on the
Tell Adam.
And he was trying to join the room while I was on the room. And it kicks me.
Can I have 10 minutes and then we'll get back?
Yes, and I can't play on the room till you fix it.
I'm there sorry, every day. What is he playing?
It's Minecraft problems.
Are you good at Minecraft, Adam? I bet you are.
I'm okay, but this is my mini engineer. He's figuring out all the things, but his brother's not letting him get on to the server that he needs to get on right now.
Do you know Roblox, Adam?
Yes, we do. He doesn't like it.
I don't love Roblox, but my kids love it.
My son likes it so much, and I'm terrified of it because I don't know who's talking to him or what's going on. I always monitor it.
But we'll get them hooked up later so they can play together. But Tina,
that'd be awesome. Minutes? Yeah.
Me and Ollie can't play.
But this is going to be your congressman next year. So
hey, what's your name, buddy?
What's your name?
Donovan.
What is
Donovan?
It? Donovan, you should be very, very proud of your dad. He's a really great guy. He's really doing good things.
Can I have 10 minutes, bud? I'll get with you.
Donovan, I promise I'll be right back in 10 minutes. So Adam, what you're doing is you work with a local manufacturer, and you're gonna. The masks are coming. This isn't hypothetical. You got masks coming.
Yeah, there's so we had a recycler in Denver who had material in Ohio that's going to get delivered to upstate New York tomorrow, and it's 500,000 masks, face shields, and it will help protect the first responders and doctors and nurses in New York City and Detroit and New Orleans, where this hotspot is right now. And we're going to be able to do that by Friday.
Did you guys everybody watching, did you hear that? By Friday, he is going to make how many masks?
Well, I'm not going to
not
make
you,
anything,
but
the hardworking people of upstate New York are going to make 500,000 face shields for the first responders and healthcare professionals in the hotspots.
Yay, Adam, I'm proud of you. I'm proud to know you. That's amazing. And you've done it. You used your talents to make a world better. Now, do you feel good?
I do, but the 500,000 is nothing. I need to be able to make 10 million a week in 2 weeks.
You know, I often meet guys that are intelligent like you or well-educated like you, and they feel they're God's gift and they can do everything, and the world owes them because they're one in 1,000 talents, and they don't have any sense of altruism or service. Why do you have a sense of service? Where does that come from? And you may know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Ayn Rand view of the world, where you're the master of the universe because you're so darn gifted and everyone owes you, versus, hey, I have some talents and I want to serve my community. Why are you the latter?
So for me, there's two sources. One, I have been lucky enough to have a support system of people who have taught me the right and just way of doing things, and it goes to my Uncle Bob, who has passed away, but it was my confirmation sponsor, who was a partner at the Leighton Tooch, but said, I can't do this anymore. I want to go teach at RIT. And it goes to the millions of well, not millions, but the hundreds of people who have taught me throughout my career and my life, that I just happen to be set up with a system of people who are saying doing the right thing is more important than doing the most profitable thing. And I'm one of the corporate guys who has been lucky enough to live through that path. But the biggest influence was my middle son, Oliver, in 2012 was diagnosed with autism, or 2014. was diagnosed with autism.
Hmm.
And I'm going to be honest, I went to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame fans are like Yankees fans. They think they're the best, right? And I felt I was exactly what you described. But then I had a person who I loved more than anything have a problem that I couldn't solve. And I had to reach out to other people, and I had to reach out to teachers and school therapists and county health officials who could help me and my wife deal with that issue. And I realized at that point, I finally faced the reality that I don't know everything, but if I assemble a network of people who do know the right things, then I can solve this problem that I have to solve. And that's
Adam,
the thing
so
that
beautiful.
changed me.
Adam, it's so beautiful what you said. Then you described community and government perfectly. I mean, good government. Government gets a bad name, but really it's just community, and it's a way for us to rely on each other. There's that old phrase, right? Like if I don't know the answer, my between me and my brother, we got all the answers. You know, if I don't know it, he knows it. I'm screwing it up, but you get the point. We don't all have the answers, but together we may have some of the answers or most of the answers.
Go ahead. Makers Respond is built on exactly that. Between us, we have all the answers, and Makers Respond is about getting brilliant engineers and industrial manufacturers and administrative people and finance people who have the answers all together in the same space so that we can respond to this humanitarian crisis that requires a scale that not one person, not one government, not one organization can respond to. And together,
so Adam, where do I go to help Makers Respond?
So if you go to resolve.ngo, just that web address, resolve, RESOLVE.ngo, you'll be able to find our project page. And later tonight, Makers Respond, MAKERSRESPOND .org will be up and running. But resolve.ngo is our fiscal sponsor. They are the ones who can take donations right now. And we need $150,000 tomorrow to get the upstate New York manufacturing system up and rolling, because this isn't just about protecting doctors and nurses. We also need to pay the workers who are doing this, right? We need to make sure that we're protecting the economy of this region while we protect the healthcare workers of this region.
That's right. So, you're creating a new industry too, maybe here. I mean,
I'm changing all the rules. Yeah. I listen to the Hamilton soundtrack on loop now. We're rewriting the game.
This is one of my favorite one of these we ever did. You're a good guy. I tell you what, I'm proud to know you. Let me say this: you hang in there, and you know what you said inspired me just now. I mean, if you look at I referenced Ayn Rand. You know, a lot of guys in your position I've met over the years are obsessed with Ayn Rand because I think they think it justifies whatever selfish behavior they want to do. But you mentioned kids. There are no kids in Ayn Rand novels. And there's no elderly people or there's no sick people. There's nobody except for supermen and losers. And life is not made of supermen and losers. It's made of people with different talents and abilities. And like you said, everybody's smart. And we got to figure out a way to use their level of smarts and their quality of smarts and their talents to make this world better. Would you agree with those statements? Or maybe I didn't articulate it perfectly, but...
No, I had a colleague say to me once, we can manage from people's failures or we can manage from people's strengths. And if we manage from their strengths, we will find the best team. And that's kind of how I approach everything. Is I find what somebody is excellent at, and I say, that's your part of this team, is the thing you are excellent at. And I'm not worried about where you fail, because if people are focused on where I'm failing, then they're going to have a laundry list of reasons not to have me on their team. But if they focus on what I can do, then I'm going to be valuable.
Well, how long until people can buy these things? I was in the store the other day and I saw a couple, and it terrified me. They were wearing fatigues, and they had those painter masks, the ones you get at like Granger or whatever, and bags over their head. And I thought, dear Lord, like, I mean, I want to wear a mask too, but it was startling to see. And I know that in other countries, their hospitals have everything they need, so you can go and buy this stuff for your own personal use. How long until people stop having to wear plastic bags over their head and I can buy my own? Go ahead.
So if you go to our first the first lives we need to protect are the people who are protecting our lives.
Right.
So our model is the for-profit hospitals and the well-funded hospitals. They're going to be able to buy these for about $3 per shield, and then that model allows us to do kind of a double Tom's shoes model. So they buy that, and we take 2 and donate them to an underfunded clinic in Brooklyn or the Bronx or Buffalo or Rochester, and so we're delivering. We're selling to the well-funded hospitals because they need them as well, and we want to protect every doctor and every nurse, but they can buy them. And then our model is a buy one, donate 2, where we're going to take. We hope to take of our first 100,000. We hope to take 10,000 of them and send them to New Orleans because that's a city that can't catch a break, right? Like they are on the tip of the spear for this crisis, and they're still recovering from a crisis that happened 15 years ago. So our organization, Makers Respond, is dedicated to helping the people who need the most help, but we're also conscious of the fact that if you're a for-profit hospital, you're going to pay for this device because you can. And so we're hoping to help level the marketplace. And everybody keeps calling this virus the great equalizer. It's not. It's only a destroyer. It equalizes nothing. But this crisis is causing us to see the best things in America, where people are stepping up and saying, absolutely, that works. Let's do it. Let's go.
I just texted my friend in New Orleans right now.
Yeah. So I have a call later tonight with one of our partners, regional leads in New Orleans, to help set up. Where do I need to send these? I have them Wednesday. Where do I send them? So it's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast because it has to.
So listen, man, you're doing good things. We'll talk again soon. I'm only going to let you go so you can help your kid with Roblox. What's it? I can tell you my Roblox name so you look for me.
All right, yeah.
Skyscraper. Look for Skyscraper on there.
All right, I will.
Listen,
he'll be thrilled.
Listen, I'm glad to have you on. Help one more time with the website.
Okay, so if you go to resolve.ngo, it'll be on the front page there. You'll be able to find our project, which is Makers Respond. And if you click on their donate button anywhere, you'll be able to get to Makers Respond. And tomorrow, go to makersrespond.org, and you'll be able to donate directly from there. But Nate, I also need you. You've got the connections. You've been doing this politics stuff for a while. So what I need from you, connect all of the donors that you know, all of the people with the big money. You gotta personally call them and send them to that website so that we can get rolling tomorrow for workers in upstate New York.
I'm not sure what I can do from a legal perspective, whatever I can do from a legal perspective, because you can't mix those two worlds, but I will promote as much as I can because I want you to be successful. And yeah, I'm making calls all day, and my friends and family who are able to, I'm going to refer them to you guys.
Every person you talk to, make it happen. Thank you so much. I appreciate being on here. And again, this is a non-political virus. It doesn't care who you voted for. So everybody, every family, I've got family all over the spectrum. Everybody can support this, and everybody can understand that protecting the soldiers in this crisis are our doctors and nurses. We're giving them armor. And this is 1945. This is World War II. It's just a difference. It scrubs instead of fatigue.
Adam, you're a good man, and I will help as much as I can. All right?
Thank you, Nate.
So be safe and have fun with your family. Keep them safe.
You too, Nate. Thank you.
See you later, my friend. Torrin, any questions? Yeah, I can hear you. All right, my friend. See you guys later, Adam. I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye, Torrin. All right.